guys. Good to see you. And for you first time watchers and listeners, welcome. Logan, welcome. Matt, welcome. And Linda, hopefully Linda is in there also. She's an old friend from way, way, way back. Good to see y'all. Hey, hey, William. Thanks, Dave. Hulk Mary, yes. Flat Rock. Good to see you. Hey, everyone. Tara, oh, good to see you. No, everyone, I wanted to just start this out immediately because, as a lot of you know, there's some family members who are, oh, thank you, Tara. Family members and friends who are having health problems. And I want everyone to please say a prayer. Please say a prayer. My sister had a stroke, and she's still in the hospital. My other sister she just got out of the hospital, and my brother-in-law will be getting out of the hospital soon, and then a prayer for Tara also. Tara is in need of prayer for her pain. She has tonsillitis, so please keep her in prayer. I know how painful that can be, Tara. So you're in our prayers. Yeah, you're right, Melvin. This winter it's been back and forth. It snowed this morning. And, I woke up this morning. I really hadn't been paying attention to the weather report. And woke up to snow on the ground. Crazy. Excuse me. All right. And so out of, consequences and circumstances and everything else, I don't have a guest this evening. And I usually do. Oh, possible tornadoes in Oregon today. Wow. Oh, goodness. I don't have any guests this evening. So what I am going to do and what I usually do, let's see, here we are. I am going to post the link right here in the comments. So if anyone feels like coming on and sharing, talking, tell us about what's going on. If you have any Bigfoot activity, if you've recently seen a Bigfoot. Thank you, Gary. Yes, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button. If you've had anything recent, click on that button. You're welcome. Jump on in and tell us all about what's going on. Let's see, I think on April 9th, we have a guest who will be coming on, and he's currently in the chat. His name is Logan, but on April 9th, both Logan and Todd, Bigfoot New York Todd, will be coming on. And we're going to talk about a special project that Logan has going on, that both Todd and myself are assisting him with, just looking to volunteer some people. Oh, Melvin, wow. Sunday will be 6 years to the day that you saw your first Bigfoot. God bless you. Still looking? Hey. Yes, Jerry, thank you. Hulk smash that like button. Don't make me angry. But let me see what else that I wanted to get in here. Yeah, I do have my usual announcements and so on, but there were, a couple special things that I wanted to talk about. Yes, don't make me mad. Don't make me angry. Oh yeah. What was it, a few weeks ago, maybe a couple, really more like a couple months ago, I was talking about these travel trailers that I absolutely fell in love with. And they recently came out with a new one that I am like doubly in love with. It looks like that trailer was made for me. They read my mind and just came out with everything that I love about it. The trailers, if you go on the RVs of America website, ROA.com, I think it is. And this is the Pause 22.4. It's a brand new, just came out maybe a week ago. And yeah, they are god awful expensive, but these are ones that, I mean, really, they are so well built. They'll last you, they'll last you years, while the other ones, the frame built, with wood all through them where they rot and the roof rots away and the sides and everything, water gets in and warps everything. Yes, it's Hulk proof. Dave, believe me, these trailers, they do a demonstration with a sledgehammer and they beat on the side of this trailer with a sledgehammer. Yes, with a sledgehammer. And no dents, no marks, nothing. And that's one of the reasons why I like them. Featherlight, no, they are a little heavy. For that 22.4 that they just come out with, you would need something that would, well, you always go like 20% above whatever the rating is. So you would need to have a tow rating of about 11,000. Okay, Gary, you've got a 92 model, 32-foot fifth wheel. That's great. Those older ones are really, truly better built than these new ones that came out, especially the COVID trailers. Those COVID trailers are just trash. Tara, that's neat. You're getting a tent that attaches to your car. Yeah, I have seen those, and they look really neat where they attach to the back of your SUV. Yeah, those look pretty cool. But I travel with my sister, and I plan on traveling with her for another 30 some years. So camping and Bigfooting until we're 100 plus years old. And so I want something that will last and be strong and just as new in 30 years. And I don't know. Yeah, that's one reason why I'm looking. There is no wood at all in these trailers. Zero. No wood. And the frame is aluminum. these are off-road trailers. Off-road, I mean hardcore, even the larger ones. It has an articulating hitch. You can go rock climbing with these, hauling these trailers. Exactly, Dave. Wood equals rot. They've got a dealership in South Carolina that would be the closest to us. There's one in Arizona, and I think I'm trying to remember, I think the other one is in Utah. But if you go on their website, RVs of America, check them out. They've got a 17, what is it, 17.4? Yeah, 17.4. That thing is so neat. That one was near the top. I was, before they came out with this new model, I was divided between that 17.4 and a 16.4. And then they came out with this 22. And boy, that thing has me thinking, it may be a little long for places that, I usually go camping in. But it has everything that I want in it. So you got a little trade-off there. And but okay, enough of that. But I love camping, and whenever you're bigfooting, yeah, you go camping. I plan on going down to Alabama. I've got so many friends down in Alabama. I got to go down there. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and out to Oregon, Dave. I'll make a special, make a special trip for Dave. I don't plan on going to California, no way, no how. Hey, Skookum. Yep, Oregon. Yes. I'll go to Oregon, but no further south. I've got a cousin in Idaho, but okay, Tara. Tara, she says, y'all, I'm on some pain meds for my tonsillectomy, so if I say something doesn't make sense, just laugh and ignore me. Okay. Will do. To be honest, Tara, nope. We'll make fun. We won't ignore. We'll laugh and make fun. No, I feel for you. I really do. Oh, I know there's, Bob and his kids, they all have strep throat. And I told him about, the old remedy that my dad told us. And that was, you need to gargle with warm salt water with apple cider vinegar. Put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there with some warm salt water. You gargle that, and that'll honestly help. We did that, took that for years, and it helped with our sore throats. Where's Sleepyhead? Yeah, really. Where is Jeff? He was supposed to show up, and I don't see him. Guys, if you just came on, if you scroll up, there's a link that I posted in there. I don't have any guests for this evening, so if you want to jump in and talk Bigfoot, talk whatever, I don't care. This is open mic. Oh, Sharon. Oh, currently giving birth in the hospital. Oh, what a blessing. What an absolute blessing. Oh. Yeah, we'll keep her and your grandchild in our prayers, for quick and easy birth. Somebody please go on. Dave, you can come on. Oh, it's a little boy. Oh, she's nearly there. Oh, how exciting. That's exciting. Yeah, Dave, come on. Finally, since you have stable, what is it, cable internet now, and hopefully the powers that be won't kick you off. I know I finally was able to hear your full story last night. Finally. And there may be some people on here who may want to hear. They're new. Especially, one other thing that I wanted to say. If by any chance you have fairly steady Bigfoot activity on your property, and it's pretty much confirmed, it's not like, oh, I think that there's Bigfoot there. No, if you know that you have Bigfoot, if you've seen them, if your family members have seen them, and there is zero doubt that they are on your property. Oh, okay, thanks, Bill. Well, next time. Or if you finish dinner and we're still on, come on. But guys, yeah, if you know zero doubt that you have a Bigfoot activity, I want you to contact me. And I will put you in contact with someone for a special project. Okay, I'm going to post that link again. There's the link again for everyone if you want to come on, talk about your Bigfoot experiences. Or guys, if you have any questions, hey, I'm here. I'll answer as best as I can. As best as I can. Hey, Jeff, there you are. Finally. Flat Rock, oh, thank you. Camp a few days, you bet I will. Whenever I come to Alabama, oh, you bet. You bet. There's a few places in Alabama I've got on my bucket list that I've heard about, and I want to get in there so bad. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Okay. I posted the link, so anyone who wants to come on or ask me questions, okay? Any question, I don't care. If you're, okay, all right, here's someone. Semi-hairy man. I have no idea who that is, but I guess we'll find out. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay, semi-hairy man. All right, you never know what name you're going to come up with. I love
it. How are you, Mary?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right, now everyone who doesn't know, this is Dave. He just has a weird screen name. Now, do you use beard balm on that beard, or beard oil or whatever?
No, it's just just it's by itself.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
And Dee Dee doesn't complain, huh?
not yet.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
She doesn't like this part. She doesn't mind this, but she don't like the neck.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we had to get into the beard, even though this isn't the beards and boogers, show. But I plucked today, so
Did you? Yeah.
yes.
Oh man, I was doing a whole bunch of chainsawing today, so I'm not all primped and
Yeah. Okay, close enough.
okay.
All right. So yeah, come on. And I know last night you went over your story, what happened with you, and finally I was able to hear it all. Because every other time that you came on and started to share, that's close. Your internet went out. You just disappeared, and sometimes we think that, hey, there's somebody out there who doesn't want people to hear what you experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could go over what happened again,
Sure.
what you experienced.
Okay. So we had moved from a property called Junction City that I just turned 1980. So I would have been 9 at the time. And we moved up to this other property. Excuse me. I was just eating. So we moved up to this property near Trinity Center, California. And this is all about now, probably as crow flies, maybe an hour or maybe like 30, 40 miles from Bluff Creek.
Okay.
As a crow flies. But we moved there, and I don't know how long we had lived there before this happened. But I do know it was sometime shortly after 1980. I would guess we probably lived up there a couple of years. I think I was between like 10 and 13-ish.
Okay.
Old, years old.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and my brother slept in the living room on a hide-a-bed couch. My 2 sisters slept in the first room in the hallway. It was just a mobile home trailer, single wide. And my mom and dad's bedroom.
Ooh, you were freezing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see. I am plugged directly in, so
They're out for you. They really are. They're out
I
for you.
guess so. I guess so. So me and my brother was sleeping on the hide-a-bed couch, and I don't know what time it was. It was in the middle of the night, and I'd woke up and felt like I'd been choked, and like my throat was. It felt like I was being compressed, like my throat was being compressed. So it's kind of scared me. So I got up and went down the hallway to my mom and dad's room, and my dad slept on the right. My mom was on the left. So I went around the bed and went over to my mom. I was like, Mom, I can't breathe. And she's like, what's wrong, son? I was like, I feel like I'm choking. Like I can't breathe. She's like, well, can you get breath? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, then you're okay. And I was like, Mom, it just feels, like my neck or my throat. And she was like, all right, well, just climb into bed with me, which she always did to all of us kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did. And she scooted over and got in the middle, and I laid on the outside. And I was laying there, and I don't know how long I'd been laying there. Probably half hour, maybe in my mind, might have been maybe been a half hour. Laying on my back, and I remember I still had my hand kind of like this, and I had my eyes closed. Excuse me. And I started seeing like light movement, through my eyelids. And before I opened my eyes, I asked myself, am I really seeing that? And so I kind of concentrated because I was kind of trying to talk myself into going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so I concentrated, and I can just see like the light moving and kind of like flickering, kind of like when you're in front of a campfire at night and you close your eyes, how you can see the fire light through your eyelids. So I opened my eyes and I could see a red. It was red, but it was kind of like a glow at this point.
Mhm.
But I could see it through the wall, and I could tell it was going back and forth, like, and getting closer. And so in my mind, it was like it was coming up the hallway, and it was like it was going back and forth through the hallway. And when I came into my mom and dad's room, I'd shut the door. And so I'm just sitting there watching the room get brighter and brighter with this red glow. And then right above the door, right where the ceiling and the wall meet, right above the bedroom door, just this red ball just comes right through. It was like half of the ball was sticking through the wall. Didn't make any sound. It didn't have no smell. It wasn't giving off like any smoke or anything, just this red ball. And it was, trying to get in the camera, probably like that size, like smaller than a basketball, but not by much.
Wow.
And it was red. When I described it to my mom and my family at the time, I said it looked like hot lava, like how lava kind of boils and turns. And now it's more in my mind like plasma would be. And just like the center was turning. It wasn't the ball was spinning, just the inside, you could tell it was moving. And it just came and just stopped like halfway down. And then like 3 or 4 feet around it was like a purple glow, like an aura. And you could see through it. I couldn't see through the red ball, but I could
Mhm.
see through the purple part of it. And I could see like the paneling on the walls and stuff. And it was the red part was throwing these big sparkles. And before the sparkles got to the edge of the purple, they would just go out. So it was like and it was beautiful. It was, I remember just like looking at it like, man, like a firework is what it
Yeah.
looked like. And so I sit up and I'm still looking at it. I'm literally like 6 or 8 feet from it. The bed's like 6 or 8 feet from the wall
Yeah.
right there. I'm just right there looking at it. And I sit up and I look at my mom and she's facing away from me, facing towards my dad. My dad's on his back. And I could see everything in there. It was like having a red light bulb in your light socket. It wasn't like real bright, but it was just red. And I was like pointing at it, and I have my left hand on my mom's hip, and I'm like, Mom, look at that red light. And she doesn't do nothing. I'm like, Mom, look at that red light. And she starts to lift her head up and lays it back down. And I could see her side profile, and I heard her voice, but her lips weren't moving. And she's like, Son, you're dreaming, go back to sleep. And I'm like, No, I'm not, Mom. I'm still pointing and I'm still have my hand on her hip. I'm like, No, I'm not, Mom, it's right there. And I turned and looked, and it was like 2, 3, and then boom. And the next thing I know is I'm starting to kind of see again. Sorry.
That's okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh.
They're out to get you.
Right at the red ball.
Oh, I'm freezing
Okay,
up.
we'll see if it's steady now.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
is it better?
Yeah. Well, sort of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I know it was so good last night. But go ahead, continue.
Of course. Okay. So I was like, No, I'm not, Mom. It's right there. And it's like 2, 3. And then now I'm not in the room no more. When I start kind of coming to, I was still pointing. My mom started to lift her head up, and I don't even think she opened her eyes, and she laid her head back down, and that was it. I don't think nobody else saw it but me, even my sisters and my brother. So I was the only one.
Wow.
Yeah. So, still pointing when I start kind of coming to, and my left hand still off to the side, and and thinking it's on my mom's hip, and it's like a glass wall, and I could tell it was kind of circular because there was kind of that bend to it,
Mhm.
and it was I couldn't see the floor or the ceiling, but as far as I could tell, it was like ceiling to floor glass, or clear wall, and it was all just beautiful stars and black sky, like if you were like if you were on the moon looking at the stars, not like on Earth looking through our atmosphere, I mean,
Yeah.
just crystal clear. And like I said, I'm still pointing and I see that and I'm like, okay. And I just start turning my head and thinking I'm going to see my mom and dad. Honestly, that's kind of what my mind was still. I was in the room and I just couldn't figure it out. And I turn and look, and there's a red haired, black skin, real wrinkly on its hands, black fingernails, because it was holding its hand was like that, and my hand was on its hand, and thick nails that went to like a point, like a vampire, red hair, like auburn red hair. And so I just see that. And at this point, Mary, from the time I realized that I wasn't in the time I realized I wasn't in the room anymore, it was like my eyes were being controlled on what I could see. I mean, I didn't see a ceiling. I didn't see a wall, the floor. I couldn't tell if the beings that come up in the story here in a minute, I couldn't tell if they had clothing or belts or weapons or what their bodies looked like. It was like my eyes were being controlled. So I'm going from my hand and I can see my sleeve, my pajama sleeve and stuff, and just go up, and here's like a Bigfoot that's like the size of my dad, and just looking, we're side by side, standing facing the same direction, but his head's, I don't know if its head was looking at me with big whites in his eyes, just looking down at me.
Mhm.
And I go from I don't know if it was a him. My mind always told me it was a him, so I just kind of go with that. But it was holding hands of mom,
Wow.
and mom was holding the hands of dad. And so if me and it's hard to explain. If me and the little one was like this, mom and dad were catty corner, like an L shape,
Oh,
and both of them were looking straight down. You see what I mean, Mary?
yeah.
Like this. And so
Okay. Yeah.
I just look and look at them. They're looking down at me, and we're all four holding hands, and they're all three red. And if I had to guess, mom was at least 8 foot. I mean, just big, muscular, like Patty, just big and
Yeah.
thick, and looked just like Patty, but red. And Daddy Bigfoot, he was huge, like probably 2 feet taller than her. I couldn't see breast.
Okay.
These, I would say, if they weren't black, they were like a dark brown eyeballs, but with the white around them. Like I said, they were like looking down, like surprised at me.
Yeah.
And so I go from them and then kind of looked more to my right, and there's this praying mantis looking being that was as tall as the daddy Bigfoot. And yeah, it was, if I saw it now, I'd be afraid, but for whatever reason, there was no fear. I wasn't, I wasn't nervous or nothing, just there.
Wow.
And so it had like oval shaped eyes that went to the front and then wrapped around the side of its head.
Okay.
If I had to say, the skull or the face was more like a kind of redder, like bone, but redder, but its
Okay.
cheekbones look uh, like blackened bone. Like if you charcoal bone and it got like
Yeah.
that black streaks in it,
Hmm.
but all bone. There was no skin on its face, just and it had the like a pointy mouth. And it wasn't looking at me. It's looking down kind of beside me. And standing next to it was this blue alien being that was just as tall and had a huge round, like perfectly ball round shaped head and blue body. I could see like the veins, like the blood vessels and veins in it through the
Yeah.
skin. And it had like almond shaped eyes, kind of like a gray alien would have that almond shaped eyeballs.
Yeah.
Its eyes were shaped more like that, but it had like a silver mirrored look to them, like a
Hmm.
police glasses, like those copper glasses, just like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And they were both looking down beside me. And so it's like boom, 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 boom. And then I looked beside me, and I mean, literally, probably, I mean, less than 5 feet maybe beside me was this gray alien being, and it was looking up at them. And I could tell they were looking down at it. You know, they were looking down at the gray being, and it was looking up at them, and its head was going just like bobbing, like it was communicating with them. And soon as I seen that, it just churns and looks directly at me, and we're almost like the same height. I was probably a little taller. It looked right at me, and then the next thing I know, I'm kind of coming back to again, and I'm walking up the hallway from like my mom and dad's room,
Hmm.
and I'm almost to the living room where me and my brother were sleeping, and I just hear my voice in my head saying, "Drink pickle juice, drink pickle juice." So I remember going to the refrigerator, grabbed a big jar, it's like, look, 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 look,
Yeah.
put the lid on, and that's the last I remember.
Yeah. Dehydration. Yeah, that'll your pickle juice will take care of that, unless you had gout. It's also a remedy for gout.
Maybe I did. I have no idea. And I don't know why I would think to drink pickle juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Your dad never drank pickle juice or anything for
Mhm.
whatever reason, or
Not that I know of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, native tracker says there's native lore about mantis people who came from the stars. And Twisted says, I think if I remember correctly, Barry Littleton has had run-ins with mantis beings.
People's asked me, did you see like arms or legs or anything? Honestly, I didn't see anything like that.
Okay, and she also says it's also for heartburn and acid reflux. Okay, and Tracy says hangovers. Well, that would probably tie in with the dehydration, because alcohol will dehydrate you a little bit. So who knows? Yeah, sounds like you were abducted. Yeah,
100%.
yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. It was, when I, when I always, when I thought about it or talked about it, I always talked about the red light. I
Yeah,
never talked with my family, never did until probably maybe 10 years ago or something like that.
really.
Yeah, recent, 10 or 15. And then I was like, I'm just going to tell them the whole story. And they're like, well, you sure you weren't dreaming? And I was like, well, that'd be a pretty interesting dream to have and then to
Yeah,
remember it.
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, no, some things, but you remembered it all these years. You just decided to talk about it 10 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
that's the same thing that happened with me with my first Bigfoot experience. I knew that I had experienced it. I remembered it all these years, but it didn't connect that it was a Bigfoot until 20 some years ago.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Let's see. And Twisted asked estimated missing time.
Honestly, I have no idea what time I went to my mom and dad's room. I have no idea what time I went back into the living room after that all happened. So I honestly I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how long that all lasted. In my mind, it was just like boom, 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 kind of fast. But
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, Melvin says I talked to another abducted similar with a similar experience.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
interesting.
Wow. Um, have you run into anyone else who has had anything similar?
Never have. No.
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
Do you go to any of the paranormal conferences?
I've never been to one. And people ask me a lot, have you ever thought about like hip what is it, hypnosis or whatever that is?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've thought about it, but I've heard bad things about it too. And so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if you feel reluctance about it, then don't, unless you're comfortable. A friend of mine is the um, state director for MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, and he would be extremely interested in your story. Uh,
Hmm.
I can put you in contact with him if you would like, and you can tell him about what you experienced, and at the very least, it'll go into the historical notes.
That would be interesting. I'd do that.
Yeah, especially for your location also, because you never know. There might be more victims in your area that
That's
no
true.
one knows. You don't know about each other.
That's true. That's very true. I would love to have like someone who can sketch, like a police sketcher, how they can draw what you see.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting to me too.
Yeah.
I would be interested in that, Mary, for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll get him in touch with you.
Okay.
And yeah, Jerry, he's special. Okay.
Uh,
And Twisted asks, have you had any encounters since?
I have not had like any, I don't know what it's called when you have like a face to face. I've seen a lot of UFOs,
Yeah.
and my wife's Dee Dee, she's seen them with me, her brother, um, their family. They don't like to talk about it, but her family was followed. This is probably, she was a little girl. Um,
Mhm.
so this is a long time ago, 50 years ago or something like that. I'm not going to give her age away, but it was a long time ago. Their family was followed by an egg-shaped UFO
Wow.
up on top of the Cascade Mountains.
Oh my.
Yep.
Wow.
I do not have any flashbacks or nightmares. It wasn't scary to me. That's what's really
Mhm.
weird about it too. It's like they shut my emotions off or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Um, where you were calm, you would heard your mother's voice, but her lips weren't moving. You said she was telling you, "Go back to sleep. You're dreaming," but you didn't see her lips move. Okay, let's see. A face to face, isn't that called fifth kind? I don't know.
I don't either.
And MUFON has an ex FBI person that
Oh,
does drawing. So interesting. Okay.
that is.
Or else you can go on to one of those AI um, things where you just type in your description and it'll bring up a drawing. It might bring up something at least close, semi close, until you get someone to draw.
Hmm. I wouldn't even know where you go to that.
Um,
Is there like
yeah,
a website or something or an app that you?
it, Facebook used to have one, but it disappeared. I don't know where it went to. Uh, hey, Miss Vicky. Hey. Yep, your buddy David. Yep.
Yeah. Hi, Miss V. Good to see you.
Okay, Jerry says it's on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, wow.
they switch things around and can't ever find things. So, yeah, you can try it maybe.
Yeah, I've tried, and I've sketched it out. I draw like a stick figure people. I'm not any kind of artist. I don't have an artist bone in me, but
uh,
just kind of the general layout of how it was, and um, Meta AI. Ah, gotcha.
AI. All right. Yeah,
But what
they.
was interesting, Mary, too, was the three Bigfoot the family of
Yeah.
Bigfoot that was there. So we lived, it was like one road and it just wound up this mountain, and there would be like sporadic, most of them were summer homes, but they were like sporadic, just here and there. There's a lot of woods in between. But
Hmm.
the neighbor that lived below us, they were kind of some strange ducks. I mean, like mental, had mental issues and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
the guy was like in his 30s then, and would play with me, with me and my brother, my younger brother, like he was a kid like us. His mentality was as a kid and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But they used to tell us all the time that they fed a family of three Bigfoot, mom and dad and a young one, from their deck by hand, that they would feed them by hand. And we, our family kind of, not to their face or not, but kind of like, oh, okay. What I mean? Kind of like, all
Mhm.
right, like how most people do to us now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And so I found that very interesting. The more I thought about that, it's like, well, there was the family of three red Bigfoot, and I think they were abducted with me. That's my feeling on it.
That's what it sounds like. It didn't feel like it was part of the aliens, that it was like yourself, just because it was there holding your hand. Did you get the impression that it was afraid at all, or?
I got the impression that they were shocked, like surprised. And it was weird that they were all three looking at me and not at the other beings, or even looking around the room. It was like all of our eyes were being controlled on what we saw. That's what it felt like to me.
Mm, that's strange. Yeah. Um, I know someone asked you, and I can't remember if you've seen UFOs after that. Have you seen any UFOs?
I never did there. Um, and in fact, I hadn't seen any after that. I mean, probably for like 2 decades, probably. It
Okay.
was this property that me and Dee Dee live at now, and we've lived
Hmm.
here. Oh, we've lived here like 17 years now, I think. And this is where we've seen the majority of UFOs and unexplained, light. Some of them, a
Yeah.
UFO is just something you can't explain what you're seeing basically in the air. But
Right.
some of these things were like taken off at light speed, gone out of the atmosphere after watching them for like a half hour or more. And then all of a sudden, gone. And
Wow.
so that's all happened pretty much here at this house.
Hmm. Wow. Let's see. Patty, she says, I'd like to see what your version of Bigfoot looks like.
So there's what is her name? She does like a bunch of Bigfoot drawings. She puts them on Facebook and stuff.
Sibylla.
Who?
Sibylla?
No.
No, Sibylla.
Dorothy? Is it Dorothy? Dorothy Wade? Something maybe?
Okay.
Dorothy Wade Anderson or something like that. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
But she had put like all these different ones on a post and was telling everybody, name which, or say which number is most like the one you've seen. And she
Yeah.
had them really close. I told her, hey, just need a little redder on the hair. And she did it. I was like, that's it right there. Patty with red hair.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Twisted says, I try to make connections and observing from afar, there's a lot of people with Rh negative blood that seems to experience this. And I know we had talked about this last night.
Mm-hmm.
You have Rh negative, or you don't know?
I do, for sure.
Okay.
Last year I had them checked. They do my blood. They draw blood every year just to run tests to make sure
Yeah.
for like my yearly update or checkup.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, what's my blood? And so they're like, oh, give me a minute. And they, like an hour later, they came back and it's like O negative or something like that. Or,
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating. And let's see. Melvin says if you're in California, SpaceX does a lot of testing out there. Yeah.
I'm in Oregon now, and I have been in Oregon for like 20 years. But I mean, I'm sure if you could see it in California, you could probably see it in Oregon too. I don't see any like the weird stuff like the spirals and all
Yeah.
that. I don't see any of the launchings or anything like that. And we have really dark skies. So a lot of my UFO sightings were in the day. You know, I mean, like looking up and just like, huh, look at that.
A lot of weird things out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what mountains are you near?
I'm in the Coast Range right now. The closest mountain to me that's a big mountain would be Crater Lake.
Okay. All right. And so old volcanoes.
Mm-hmm. And that's about an hour and a half, maybe closer to 2 hours, directly east from me.
Okay. And they are primarily made of, I don't know, what kind of rock?
Basalt.
Basalt. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're on the Coast Range, so it's like there's a mountain range that runs all along the coast, and
Yeah.
then the Cascade, the Sierras and the Cascades are the same mountains. In Oregon and Washington, they're called the Cascades. When they hit California, they're the Sierra Nevadas.
Okay.
Same mountain ranges. And so Shasta's like 3 hours from me, 3 hours south and inland a little bit.
Yeah. Heck of a lot of weird stuff goes on there.
Yeah, where this happened is as the crow flies, probably 30 or 40 miles from there, where this experience happened would have been that close to Shasta.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Maybe further, but not much. I mean, Shasta is right along I-5, the Interstate 5, and then there's like some mountains, and we're right up in those next mountains right there. So it was close.
Yeah. Yeah. Patty says Crater Lake must be beautiful.
It's stunning.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, I've seen photos and it does look gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Photos can't even do it justice.
Yeah. I can't remember. That's not an extinct volcano. It's more like hibernating.
Yeah, they call it like semi-dormant.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. At one point, that mountain was the tallest mountain in the world, I think, is what
Wow.
it was. And then it blew its top and took off like the top 10,000 foot of it or something like that. Or, yeah, it's huge. The lake itself is like 2,000 and something feet deep.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be on the coast whenever that entire range takes off.
If you come here, we got to go, Mary.
Yeah.
You got to see it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Rhesus monkeys have Rh negative blood.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
And Jerry says your story is done and now your internet is fine.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I did notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things that make you go,
Uh-huh.
Never fails.
Nope.
Yeah. Now, any other weird things that you've seen? in the area, or you've had Bigfoot experiences, also other Bigfoot experiences?
Oh yeah. So in 2019 was probably the biggest one. Um,
Mhm.
we were elk hunting, and we're up in these mountains right here. It's probably an hour away, but there's a lot of it's gravel road to get up
Mhm.
there. No houses up there; it's just all woods. There was one camp that was probably about 6 or 7 miles from where we were at,
Mhm.
and my sister Cindy had never been up there before. Me and Dee Dee were bow hunting elk, and it's kind of a long story, but I'll just kind of do the abbreviated story of it. And the first night we were there, we're still setting up camp. Me and Dee Dee had a truck camper, like the cab over camper. And
Mhm.
we pulled the camper off our truck and pulled our truck up. And my sister was sleeping in her car. And about 10 o'clock that night, the first night, we were still kind of setting up camp. Um, my sister's like, she's got really good hearing. And me and Dee Dee were both kind of busy doing stuff. So we didn't hear it. She's like, oh man, like we got company. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I just heard something up on that hill up there. She's like, what's up there? And I'm like, Cindy, I said, what did you hear? She goes, it was either a bang or a tree knock. And I said, well, I guarantee you there's nobody up there. She's like, why? And there's no road. It's almost impenetrable. They'll do so Oregon's like a logging state. They'll
Yeah.
go through, they'll cut, they bring in these crews, they replant. And so
Mhm.
like 20 years later, they can actually recut that same area. Just it's
Okay.
like a ongoing process. Well, sometimes they'll go through, and to let the trees grow up better, they'll let them grow to like real tall Christmas trees, like up to maybe 20 foot tall. Then they'll
Mhm.
send crews in there and they'll thin them out, and they just drop the trees all over. So it's like tangled mess in
Oh,
there. Yeah. And like steep. So I was telling her, I was like, Cindy, there's nobody up there. I promise. She's like, huh. And so to to make it quicker, like each day and each night there was stuff happening, and I kept writing it off, like sister, maybe it was like we heard like this crack, and then like sound like a tree knock, and then like running through brush, like bang and shh. And I was like, well, maybe it's elk, like they cracked heads and one ran the other one off or something. Just
okay. Logical.
yeah, everything that you could think of. And then so the best stuff was, well, I'll do the three best things. Then on the second day of elk season, um, me and my wife and my sisters in the back, and we're driving up, and Dee Dee's driving. I think, yeah, Dee Dee was driving, and I look down, and there's a group of elk, a herd of elk,
Oh.
and they are not like spread out like normal. They're all kind of just like working in a circle, kind of like they're in an enclosure. And there was a nice bull, and he was kind of on the outside, kind of like he was wanting to leave. But so I'm like, hey, a bull like that. So we park, and
Mhm.
my sister stays in the truck. Me and Dee Dee go up the road and get like out of sight and drop off and start to kind of sneak up to him. And my sister said, as soon as we left the road, and it's like thick brush, so we're kind of making noise going down through there. She said there was like from three different directions, just like bang,
Oh.
bang, bang. And so honestly, I think they had those elk like triangulated, because
Yeah.
she said it sounded like it came from each direction.
Okay.
And and she said she watched us go off down the bank, off down the hill.
Mhm.
And as soon as she lost sight of us, she said something black was behind us, just following the same path we were on.
Oh.
And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, I was like, well, it could have been a bull. They got like kind of black manes and stuff. I'm writing everything off. I'm gonna say it's everything else before I say it's a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the next big thing was, it was like, if I can remember right, maybe like the sixth night we were there.
Mhm.
Um, this is the only night we didn't have our big old lantern out there. Um, I didn't have my shotgun, which I only had my shotgun just for bears and mountain lion and all that, nothing
Mhm.
else. And usually I had it leaning up against our camper. and I had our lantern, and usually I had my big bright flashlight, and I would, light up the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And we're 11 miles up this gravel road, and we're just parked off the side of this gravel road. And on the one side of us, it just drops down a bank, and it's just a flat, and it goes back to this creek, and then like a big mountain. And on the other side of us is that thick, tangly mess where I told you we heard the knock the first night. And so it's about, probably about 10 o'clock at night or something. And this would have been like right at the beginning of September, like the first week of September.
Okay.
And we had a mosquito candle burning, and that was it. That was our light. And me and Dee Dee are sitting in our lawn chairs, beside the camper and stuff. And my sister smoked cigarettes, and every time she would go to smoke, I would step up with her, and I had a little headlamp on, just a little cheapie, like a Walmart special,
Yeah.
just a cheapie. And I had it on the green setting because my son was like, hey, it's not very strong, but have it on the green setting. It reflects eyes real well. So I was like, all right. So I did. And my sister steps up to smoke in the road. So I get up and I turn on my lantern, my headlamp, and I look directly across the road because that's like the closest trees. And I look there, look to the right, and I look back to the left, and man, it was just this glowing set of eyeballs that were huge and far apart, but they were like really low to the ground.
Oh.
Like really low to the ground.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And but on the edge of the road, like right where the road drops down, couldn't see it, Mary, but in my mind's eye, it was like the body was off that road, and like the upper body was on the road.
Yeah.
If you can picture that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I looked at it, and it was I wouldn't say looking at me, looking my direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, we got eyes. And my sister's like, what we do? And she turns and walks to me. And she was like, oh, like hyperventilating.
Oh, wow.
And they're like 30 yards from us, the eyes.
Yeah.
And they're like electric yellow. And I don't know if it was because the green lantern was kind of that electric yellow, almost like fluorescent green, kind of shimmery right there.
Right.
And so, she's like, she turns and walks back to her car. And Dee Dee's still sitting Dee Dee's like, she's bomb proof. She's awesome. I love it. She's still sitting in her chair. And so me and this thing are like locked on, and it's not blinking. It's not churning, just looking. And so I'm just standing there looking, and my sister, I can hear her on the gravel. She walks back up, comes to my side, and she's like, again, and just churns and walks back. And finally I was like, babe, I need the flashlight and the shotgun right now. Because in my mind, I'm thinking bear or mountain lion, just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Even though hindsight, nothing fit.
Right. The size of the eyes kind of give it away.
Yeah. And, you would think they would blink or turn or whatever.
Yeah.
Hi, Mama. And so I was like, babe, I need the shotgun and the flashlight right now. And so I hear her get up, and I hear her going to the camper, and I can hear her like, she's looking for the flashlight. And I never took my eye off it, just staring at it. And I can hear her walk up, and she just taps my shoulder, and she's like, here you go, babe. And I just like grab and turn and hit, point the gun and hit the flashlight, and that thing is gone. I mean, like gone. And no sound. It wasn't running down the gravel road because there was a little straightaway. That fast, I would have got it. Yeah. But whatever it was, I think it just pulled itself off that road like immediately.
Yep. As soon as you turned away. Yeah.
At the moment I unlocked. Yep. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, boom. And I was like, where'd it go? And my wife's standing right there. She's like, I don't know. I was like, what should we do? Do you want me to go ahead and shoot off around? Because I'm thinking animal. I'm not thinking anything else.
Okay. Yeah.
At this point. And her and my sister are both like, yeah. So I just like up in the air, just boom.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing, nothing. So we kind of walk up there and shine the light off and didn't see nothing. And we talked about it, it was almost bedtime. So we talked about it. It's like, that was weird. That was kind of crazy. And Cindy's like, my sister, she's like, well, what do we do if it comes back? And I was like, Cindy, if this thing comes back, there's trouble because something's going on. I said, I'll probably have to shoot it because we had bear tags and stuff. We could, but it was at night, all that added up. So anyway, the next morning we get up, instead of going hunting, we walk over there to where it was.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see, this is like hard packed road gravel.
Okay.
You could see like these scuff marks where it looked like it pushed itself back over the edge of the road.
Okay. Whenever it was getting away.
Yeah.
Was there a ditch that the rest of its body was down in the ditch?
It wasn't a ditch. It's just like the road was kind of on the side of a little hill. So it just dropped down like 10 feet. And then there was a flat that went for like 100, 150 yards or whatever, just like a flat. So I think it was laying with its body off the edge of the road and its upper body was on, like it was just playing peekaboo off the edge of the road. So down to the 9th night, we kind of wrote it all off. I mean, we were still like, well, my sister's like, brother, this is Bigfoot. I was like, I know, but I'm not, what are we going to do? Right. And so the 9th night, about 10 o'clock, Dee Dee's getting ready to go to bed. And this owl just starts, going off. Mm-hmm. So I start answering, and me and this owl are going back and forth. And it's across that flat. And like I said, across that flat, there's a creek, and then it just goes up that steep hill. Well, this is coming from like right on the edge of that flat, right at the base of that hill, like right by the creek. And so I'm talking back and forth, and my sister was getting her drunk on. Like I said, it was like almost bedtime. She'd already had her drunk on. And she was having fun just listening to the owl. She'd never talked back and forth with the owl. And she has this on her phone still, Mary. She was recording this. And she was doing her like this kind of half chicken, half owl call. And so Dee Dee's, after like a half hour or so, Dee Dee's like, babe, I'm ready to go to bed. And I'm going to take, at that time, she's like, I'm going to take our one dog to the bathroom to go to bed. And I was like, okay. So I get up and walk over with her. And the owl was still going off. And my sister was still answering it. And the dog wouldn't go, wouldn't go, which is not normal.
Yeah.
She wasn't scared. She wasn't like shivery or, tail tucked. She just would not go. So Dee Dee was like, babe, I think Cindy's calling is making her nervous. And so I was like, hey, Cindy, do you think you could stop calling for a second? So for the dog, she was like, oh, okay. Like I said, it's all on the recording. And at one point I even said, hey, Cindy, it was like Jurassic Park where the one velociraptor was keeping the guy's attention.
Yes.
So that's on the recording. It was funny. We laughed about it. But anyway, so when I said that, she stopped recording instead of just stopped calling. Yeah. Of course, it's like classic. And the dog wouldn't go for like another minute or something. So I pick up the dog, and me and Dee Dee start walking back over to my sister. The owl goes off one more time. Woo, woo, woo. And so we all three stop. So, but at the end, it goes, woo, 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 and it kind of went to like this weird off call.
Yeah.
So we're just stopped, and then immediately off to the left of that a little bit, yip, yip, like a coyote yip. And then a little more to the left was just this roar. You could feel it in your chest.
Yep.
The trees were ringing. I don't know if you've heard like loud noise, how trees kind of ring.
Yes.
They were ringing. And we just, all three of us were like, just dropped jawed. And
oh man,
I don't cuss, Mary, but I did that time. I was like, what the was that?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I don't know. I don't know. And we all three had a sense like time to go right now. And so Dee Dee ran in the camper, got her purse, got our like her medicine bag and stuff. My
Mm-hmm.
sister was getting, her stuff in the car, and we just left my camper up there for a week.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
It was so loud. People are like, well, I've heard owls, they can be loud. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that loud.
Yeah. And yeah, there's areas where the acoustics are really good, where they will come out really loud. I've heard that.
Mhm.
But there's other areas where it's just loud and there's no other explanation for it.
No. Like
Yeah.
we've had 1,000-pound bull elk bugling right in the brush, and they
Yeah.
got huge chests,
Yeah.
huge chests. And I mean, it would take 20 of them to make. I mean, it would take like 5 train horns to make this. Just
Hmm.
this sound was crazy.
Yeah. Yep. That's something. So everything at your camp was still good whenever you got back?
Yep, it was. So
That's
we
good.
went back. We went back the next day
Oh,
during the
okay.
daylight, and my sister had called that night and reported to the Oregon State Police, and they actually investigated it.
Oh.
Because we're like, well, we don't want those other campers, if something's going on, we don't want them to get hurt. So she'd called them. But we went back the next day, got the rest of our stuff, and I put up trail cameras, like different directions,
Mhm.
covering our camper.
Oh.
And then we went back like a week later and actually loaded it up. I mean, we were on edge. Dee Dee was packing and like watching why we just got the rest of the stuff, and then I was packing, so I was watching why she got her stuff out, and it was
Hmm.
it was very unnerving.
I'll bet. Oh my. Were there other campers in the area?
Just that one that was like 6 or 7 miles up the road.
Okay.
Yep.
And you never seen or heard him or heard from him?
No.
You wonder what he experienced,
Yeah.
if
If anything,
anything.
I don't know. Yeah, we got the distinct feeling that they'd had enough of us, like we had frustrated them. That's the feeling we got.
Okay. Yeah. Most likely, yeah. I know from my own experience, whenever they start hassling us, it's if it's not juveniles having fun, which you can pretty much tell whenever it's juveniles, they're just playing with you. But whenever they're the adults and they want you out of there, you know, and it's usually because they're hunting, you're on their hunting ground or hunting territory, or you're disrupting the hunt in some way. And, whenever you're just like in a campground or camping area like that, yeah, that's happened so many times.
Yeah. And there was a report, Mary, because we started looking it up. Like, I wonder if there's been any reports from up here. And I think it was 2001. Somebody made I think it was a BFRO report, same road. And they were bow hunting elk, doing the same thing we were doing.
Huh.
And he was stalking the elk and noticed movement to his right, looks over, and there's a Bigfoot stalking the elk also. So there
Yep.
was a report from right there.
Well, apparently good hunting for both.
Exactly. Yep.
Except they didn't want to share.
Exactly. And I found this is last year, I think last year during hunt, because we go back up there and hunt still.
Hmm.
Um, we don't camp at that same spot, but we do go back up there and hunt.
Okay.
But I found a dead, like a carcass of an elk, just the skeleton,
Okay.
and went. And it's the spot where I hunt a lot. Right down, I drop off this one road, work down through the big timber, and there's a road down below. Dee Dee
Hmm.
drops me off on the upper road. I walk down, and she meets me at the bottom. And about halfway down, found that elk. It was like a young one, a calf, like a calf carcass.
Okay.
And that's the place, like at the end of deer season or elk season,
Mm-hmm.
I found a track. My first that I can say, I mean, it stopped me in my tracks. I was just stalking down through there, and it was like a perfect Bigfoot track, castable, everything. And we
Wow.
went to a little town, tried to get some material to cast it with, nothing, and came back home. And we were planning on going back up there like the next day or two. It took like 3 days for us to go back up there. Went up there, and it was wiped out by. I'm assuming it was elk tracks. It looked like elk had went through
Yeah.
there, but
Oh.
I was gonna. It was. I was excited. It's like this is the only elk or a Bigfoot track I've ever found where
Yeah.
the whole print was perfect. Like there
Mm-hmm.
it is, finally, same spot where all that happened.
Did you take photos of it or?
I did. I did not actually. I don't even think I had my phone on me when and so I did start taking it with me. And
Yeah.
I do. I do have pictures of that skeleton. I can dig them up. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, because I have never casted a footprint. Never.
wow.
I take photos. I take detailed photos, and for me, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. The footprint casts that I do have were taken by others. Some of them were in areas that we were camping, and there were tracks around where we were camping, and um, were can't. There were tracks behind my tent or my van or
Yeah.
something like that.
Wow. I
What
can't believe you've never casted one. That's kind of surprising.
no, just that really never interested me. Yeah, the study of them, yes, but collecting them, no. Um, I wanted to ask you something. Oh, yeah, the skeleton. Was it intact?
The main part of the body was all right there, not intact, but all laying in one spot. A
Okay.
couple of leg bones were kind of scattered around.
Uh, yeah, because that would, if it was still intact, that would tell you a lot about what killed it.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, Mary, I'm backtracking on that. I did have a couple pictures of that footprint. And so I'm
Oh,
kind of while you're talking, I'm kind of going back and looking. I posted them on something. I can't remember where it was.
hmm.
Um, dang. I'll try to maybe I can just send them to you personally or something. I don't want to
Yeah.
sit here and be searching my phone, but I did. Now that I recall that, I did take pictures of them, and they turned out really good. Like you could see
Good.
the print.
Uh-huh. Good. Yeah. Yeah, carry your phone with you no matter what.
I do
And
now. My phone is old. It's an iPhone 6. It
oh,
really
okay.
kind of sucks, but I do it for mainly for the camera.
Yeah. And as long as you know the length of your boot, just use your boot as a measurement. You really don't need a yardstick or tape
Yeah,
measure or anything.
that's true. And I did do that too. I usually do something for size, and I think I did stick my foot up on one of them.
Okay.
Wish I could find
Yes.
it like
Some
easy.
people use a dollar bill or something that there is a known measurement of. But no, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think the first footprint that I found, yeah, I used my own foot as a measurement to it. And whenever I got back to the house, I measured my foot and said, "Oh, okay." It was just it was a juvenile footprint that I had found, and I think it was around maybe 10 or 11 inches long, and so that was fun.
Yeah,
Finding that first print, that's it's kind of very memorable right there.
it is. And this was the first one. I mean, I've seen tons of scuffs and possible
Yeah,
indentions, and this was like we have like really tall sword fern here,
yeah,
and so I'm just walking down through that stuff, just slipping through it, and I moved one of those and slipped, and it's before I even took my step, right where I was going to step, it was sitting there. I was like, boom, like no way. And my foot, I mean, I think I got a size 11. So with your boot on, it's
Mhm.
like 13 inches or something probably
Right.
with the boot. And it was quite a bit bigger than my boot, like
Okay.
a boot and a half wide and
Yeah.
like probably 3 inches longer or something like that.
Right. And was it in deeper than what your own foot?
Absolutely. It was real duffy, like the fir needles and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't like mud or nothing. It was or dirt. It was duff.
Uh-huh.
And I literally would stomp, next to it in my heel, and I could dent it down, but not
Yeah.
if I set my foot on it, it would just lift right back up.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been times whenever I would be walking in mud and you find a footprint. Luckily enough, I like going out after it rain when it makes it nice and easy to find prints.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And finding a print that's like really down deep, and I'll press my own foot next to it, and maybe a quarter of an inch or something like that, but theirs
Yeah.
go way down.
Yeah. I think personally that this is just my thinking that people way underestimate the weight of them.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah. This whenever I figure like an 8 foot tall one, some people say, oh, okay, well, 600, 800 pounds. Well, it would also depend on their body shape also. Uh, because I've seen husky ones and I've seen thin, lean ones.
Yeah.
And yeah, the husky ones, probably 800 and up, for an 8 footer. But yeah, wow. They are big. Just
They're
plain.
big. Yeah. To have that wide of a foot and that long and
Yeah,
to make that much of an impression in the ground,
yeah,
that takes a lot of weight.
it does. Yeah. Trying to read the comments here.
I don't even have the comments on.
Yep. Okay. Jeff Yarrington says you had sent him those photos.
Yeah, I did. That's right.
Let me scroll back here.
That's right. I thought I might have posted them. Maybe I didn't. I might have just sent them to some people.
Diane says you do great sounds.
My owl hoot. Thank you, Diane. It's good to see you.
Okay, and comment about the yellow eye shine. Reptiles have yellow eye shine.
Mm.
Can't blink, no eyelids. Yikes. Okay, let me scroll down here. Okay, and Jerry says he doesn't think he's seen the photos. Yeah, so yeah,
Interesting.
you'll have to dig them up and share it with us.
Yeah, and if Jeff, if you can find them and you have them, you can send them to me. If I don't have them, I would think I would have them, but
Okay, native tracker, the 8 foot tall Oma Bigfoot on their property weighed 953 pounds.
that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, yeah, he must have been one of them husky, 4 foot wide shoulders and barrel chest and everything.
It's amazing how they can move silently, and then you hear, and I did as a kid, heard one, and the thump that this thing made, the boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. I mean, to make even elephants, how much do they weigh? You could be standing right by an elephant and they walk by and you don't hear the ground thumping like that.
No, you don't. No. Yeah, that's something. And then yeah, I think they do that on purpose too. Whenever they want to be heard. Oh yeah, heck yeah, yeah, you'll hear them.
And feel it.
Yes, yeah, just like that T-Rex in Jurassic Park.
The water jiggling.
Yes, I always picture that.
Me too.
And then, but yeah, whenever I think, other than that, if they don't want to be heard, you're not going to hear them. Even on a gravel road or in leaves, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Just plain amazing. Okay, Gary
Wow.
says the alpha here is over 14 foot tall. Yikes. Wow.
Got to be 2,000 pounds or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I mean,
would think so.
there's been reports of them carrying bison or moose. I mean,
Yeah.
they're that big.
Yeah, that's something. I know the one I saw in Ohio, I say that that he was 10 foot, but I think he was closer to 12 in reality. But that's guessing, but he was over 10 foot. Guaranteed he was over 10. But yeah, he was huge, barrel chest, and I wouldn't be able to guess, their weight. Yeah, at that large, no.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and Jerry asks, did you smell anything unusual along with the eye shine?
I have never smelt anything that I would associate was their smell, like that skunky smell or whatever, garbage or rotten animal, whatever. I've never smelled anything.
Grassman, yeah. I know it's possible, Melvin. This was in Columbiana County, Ohio, near the Pennsylvania border, and I think they're more just Bigfoot. I think Grassman are different. Yeah.
So as far as like guessing size, I have a plywood cutout here, of a Bigfoot, and I'll ask anybody especially that's into Bigfoot and like some of my family members and stuff,
Yeah.
some of our friends and stuff. I'll be like, how tall you think that is without them knowing? Oh, 6 foot. Go up there. It's 9.5 foot tall.
Wow.
And it's
Wow.
full 4 foot wide at the shoulders. So, yeah. Totally underestimating it.
That's pretty good. And it's made out of what, 10-foot sheet of plywood?
It was a 8 foot, but I had another part sheet, so I added that to it. Yeah, and you can order them. I cannot remember that company. They do like yard patterns and stuff for your yard. And they had the Bigfoot one, and I like it. It's not where it's like halfway stride. It's like standing there, like it's looking down at you and I like that. So I just basically laid out the pattern and then just went by eyeball and just followed it with my eye and just enlarged the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And then I added the solar, like the sidewalk solar lights, and put red lenses for the eyeballs. I cut out cool eyes. I'll get a picture of that one of these days and all. So at night the eyes glow red.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That would be cool. I know a lot of people use reflectors for the eyes.
Yeah, I did the reflector, but it's lit up from the inside, so it shines red.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, there's a guy around here. He used to do what would you call it? Like a ride, a Bigfoot ride, where he set out on his property a trail, and along that trail he would put tree bends that he did, and X structures, and then he would hide the Bigfoot cutouts, and he would put red reflectors, and he would take people on a ride on a track. He would haul a trailer with his tractor and go up this hill and through the trails and give everyone a flashlight and say, okay, you know, you're on a Bigfoot hunt. See how many Bigfoot that you can find. And it was pretty fun, you know, pretty neat little ride.
That's cool.
Problem is, he did something that as soon as I found out, I said, you better take that down immediately or else you're going to cause trouble. You're going to bring trouble on yourself. And before he could take this thing down, he had trouble. What he did was he took a tree stump that he had pulled out of the ground and turned it upside down and shoved it into the ground so the tree roots were sticking out. Well, about 15 foot to the right of that was a nice 12-inch thick, healthy tree. No storms, no wind, but this healthy tree was broken in half. It had just broken over. And then there was a tree bend on the other side of it. And an X structure that was on the other side. So I said, you better pull that thing out of the ground and give your ride a break for a little bit.
Good advice.
And, you know, I told him, I said, I warned you.
Yep.
But yeah, he found out that, you know, it's not all fun and games.
Yeah. It is until until it's not.
Yep. FAFO.
Yep.
Fun times. And it is, you know, sometimes we do, a lot of times, you know, most of the time, really, we have a lot of fun. You know, we go out, you know, we're with friends and, you know, it's just Bigfooting with people who think the same as you, and you're picking each other's brains and just having a lot of fun with friends. And if anything Bigfoot related happens, well, you know, that's all gravy. And then other times there's not so nice things that happen.
Yep.
or things get a little bit more serious than what you intended.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, like you're surrounded by 3 really pissed off Bigfoot and they're all roaring and
Not fun.
yeah, not fun.
No.
And everyone is all huddled around saying, oh crap.
Yeah. What do you do then, right?
Yeah.
So you don't really go out and do any calling, Mary, or do you?
I called one time and something bad happened that night. So I don't do any calls. I'll whistle occasionally. I don't do tree knocks, but that's about it. You know, I don't do calls. Yeah, the one night, one afternoon, after watching that Not Finding Bigfoot TV show, I had gone up over the hill from my house, you know, about a mile or so away, you know, up in the woods, and did a call, and nothing happened. Didn't hear anything, and thought, oh, okay, and you know, went back home. About 2:30 in the morning, I woke up to just about every side of the house, all 4 sides of the house, something beating on the walls.
Ooh.
And something running across the roof. And it went on for half an hour, just this constant something beating on the walls. and I thought for certain, something was going to break through. And I'm trying to wake up my husband, he's a very deep sleeper, and granted, he had worked a very long day. He gets up at 4 a.m., 3 or 4 a.m., and off to work at 5, and not back home until 7 or 8 or 9 or whenever. And so, yeah. But finally, I woke him up, kinda. I don't think he was fully awake. And by that time, it was done. And I made him get up and check all the doors.
Exactly.
And
Kind of
just
make you feel safer, huh?
yes. And yeah, he did that and then came back to bed, and he doesn't remember that at all.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't remember it.
Wow. Why is that? Because he was kind of out of it still, maybe half
I
asleep?
think he wasn't fully awake whenever I kind of woke him up,
Yeah.
at least enough to kick him out of the bed and go check the doors.
So you do all the protection at night then, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's
And the dog had crawled underneath the bed, so it was no,
yeah, that's not normal, huh?
no, no. Her normal place that she would lay was at the back door, at the patio door, and she would watch out the window because uh, whenever this Bigfoot would come around, he would come around from the back, and so that was her guarding area. And whenever he was around, she would kind of show me he was there. She would give like a mixture of a soft growl and a whine, really soft, and her hackles would go up and her tail tucked, and she would crawl backwards until she was huddled up against me, just shaking in terror.
Wow.
And that's whenever I knew that, he was around.
Yeah. Wow. That's scary.
Yeah, it
That's
was a little startling at the first few times that it happened.
now, did you say that was at your house or where?
Yeah.
Wow. The house you're at now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we moved out of there in 2016 and built our new house a little bit further out in the country. And as we were building this new house, I found footprints around the foundation, so I knew that they were here too. And yeah, after we moved in, I saw the one. He was an alpha, probably most like an old alpha. He was all gray and brown, and but I saw him 3 times.
Wow.
Patty says she camps with me for protection.
I believe it. When we start backing up with our tails tucked and we're backing into you, Mary, then you know it's serious.
Yes. Hackles up, tail tuck.
Yeah. Actually, just like,
Yeah, come on over.
yeah.
I just have to warn you about Patty. She whips out her machete and starts waving it around, and
Give her some space.
yes, give her space.
That's awesome. Well, now I get behind Patty, she gets behind you, so now I have 2 walls of protection.
Yeah, I just have to watch out for Patty and her machete.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Okay. Hey, Duke. Duke Johnson has a report on cryptid wilderness research podcast where he went to the upside down stumps in Alaska and filmed them. Oh, cool. That's pretty cool. That'd be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. I think that must be like Southeast Alaska, I think, because I lived in Fairbanks for a little bit. And at that time, I wouldn't have probably known anything about them anyway, because I wasn't into like podcasts or, watching YouTube or nothing like
Yeah.
that. So, but I've often wondered where that was at, where all those trees are upside down.
Yeah.
I think it's Southeast Alaska.
Yeah, I think that's what I've heard also. Yeah, tracker. Yeah, that's what I've heard also.
That's same with elk. It's the
Yeah,
cows that lead.
yeah. Yep. The males just say, yes, yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Yep, exactly. I'm the head of this household. Yeah, but I'm the neck that turns it. So it is Southeast Alaska.
Oh, okay. So, Duke, I have yet to see your show, your podcast. What night is your podcast on, Duke? There's a delay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you didn't hear me.
I bet he did. We'll see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Duke around in a long time.
Yeah, I know. Yes. Okay, here it is. Let me highlight that for you, Duke. 8 Central every Sunday night for half a decade now. Okay. All right. I've got to check my notification settings because for some reason I'm not getting notifications for half the channels, that I'm subscribed to. And everyone, if you're not already subbed to his podcast, please subscribe. Duke has quality stuff on there, quality guests.
Yeah, probably. I've noticed that too, either being unsubbed or the
Yeah.
notifications being turned off, which is weird.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. YouTube does that for some reason, and it's not right. It's not right. So I'm going to have to check that channel again. Check my notifications. Okay, let's see what else. Cynthia says, "Brother, you didn't tell me you were on tonight."
It was not planned.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't planned. He jumped in because this is an open mic night, and whoever wants to come in is welcome to jump on. And Dave is my victim of the evening.
I'm honored.
No,
Sorry it had to be me, Mary.
I'm honored. I appreciate you coming on.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I agree. Flat Rock. He is a great podcast every Sunday. They probably unsubbed me. Yeah, that's possible. Because I know that's happened. Oh, wow. You're having MK Davis on Sunday. Ah, okay.
Bring in the big guns.
Yes. So 8 p.m. Central, Sunday night. Duke is going to have MK Davis on. So, wow. Okay. And Lovelock Giants, part 3. Okay. Very cool.
Isn't the Lovelock Cave, was that in Oregon? Eastern Oregon, maybe? Thought maybe that's where they found like a giant sandal, like an artifact sandal, like it was
Okay.
weaved or something out of like not brush, but like grassy type stuff.
Yeah.
I could be way wrong. Oh, Nevada. Okay, Nevada.
Nevada, yeah. Says last time you had Ron Moorhead with them on Lovelock Part 2. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, everyone, get on there, subscribe to Duke's channel. Um, yeah, even people that I don't care for listening to every so often, they do have some interesting things to say. And
Can glean something out of it, huh?
absolutely, yeah. And well, I like MK. I haven't heard anything that I disagreed with. Or have I? I can't remember. I can't remember. I try not to hold, uh, well, except for a few people.
We all get
Let's
to
see.
have our opinions, huh? That's one thing.
Yeah. 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 Some people just go a little bit too far. MK, wow. Yeah. MK has 800 videos on his channel. I can believe it. He has some quality stuff. And I mean, the amazing work that he has done on his videos. Um, I just salute him and give him, kudos, no matter how you feel. The work that that man has done, analyzing, especially the Patterson Gimlin film, just those alone, just amazing. So yeah, subscribe to World Bigfoot Central, guys. And if you're not subscribed to MK Davis, his channel is green something. I can't remember. It doesn't say MK Davis. Can't remember what it is. Green something, but he'll probably have that on um, the link to the channel on World Central. Ooh, okay. MK's coming to Montana this summer to do a field trip with you. Sasquatch and megaliths. Oh, okay. Thank you, Duke. Yeah, Green Wave 2010 FB is MK's channel. Thank you, Duke. I knew it was green something, but couldn't remember. I accidentally kicked the dog. I'm sorry. She's laying here at my feet. Okay, let me scroll back. I missed something up here. Okay, native tracker. Lovelock cave giants were known to the Sioux as Sisiya. To the Paiute were the Sitika. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably mangling it. I'm sorry. Natives know more about the cryptids here than settlers do.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you, Gary. Gary, I applaud you for what you do. And I think everyone that you help on their channels, we all appreciate you. Whenever he was in the hospital, he was sorely missed. Yeah, everyone missed him.
Yep. Superman.
Yes. Yes, Jerry. Jeff is here.
He said we're sleepyhead.
Here we go. Thank you, Native Tracker. Okay, Duke, you get your information by bypassing natives or settlers and go right to the, I know I'm going to mangle this one, Sulkalu. More accurate, Bigfoot are the experts on Bigfoot. Thank you. Jeffrey. Jeff is not on screen. Jeff Yarrington, he's not on screen, so we can't take bets on when he's going to nod off. But,
Yeah, when he starts getting that hand up there, it's like,
yeah. Love you, Jeff.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. He's a dairy farmer, and God bless him. For doing that work. That's amazing. Farmers. My husband was telling me there was a report that he heard the farmers have the most dangerous profession in the world, and I can believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Between the farm animals and the machinery, they're farm animals with long pointy things on their heads,
Exactly.
or sharp hooves attached to 1,000-pound animals.
Mm-hmm. Finger pointer.
Yes, you're still here. Yes. Love you too, Jeff.
Yep.
And Blackie's here. Hi, Blackie. Yeah, Jeff and Old Line Cryptids, they have their own podcast every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Isn't it, Dave? Yeah.
Eastern, yeah, 8 Eastern.
Eastern.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
You're in
actually, Central.
Well, no, they're in Maryland, so it's
Yeah,
Eastern.
yeah, yes. Yep, 5 my time.
Yes. I know for you, it's what, 6?
5.
Oh, it's 5 something
It's
now?
3-hour difference, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's 9:23 here.
Oh, so it's 6:23, yeah, here.
Okay. Yeah, almost my bedtime.
Oh,
But no, whenever you guys are on, I make a special exception, to stay up, and I'm tired, but hey, I love watching you guys on there, and poking fun and being ornery.
yeah. Thank you, Mary. We sure appreciate you.
But yeah, last night it was a good show. And what was the guest's name?
Gina, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very good. I'm just sorry I missed half of the podcast.
It's understandable.
Jeff teaches the art of how to fall asleep. Yeah, it's a study in video. just watching the art of the nod off.
I love it.
But yeah, like I said, Jeff, he's a dairy farmer, and so yeah, he gets a pass. We poke fun at him, but yeah, everybody loves him. Yeah.
Is your husband into any of the cryptids or anything, Mary? Or
Not really, no. He
really?
no, he supports me 100%. He will go along with me sometimes. He won't really hike. He'll sometimes walk with me. I can't hike much anymore, but as far as I can walk, depending on the terrain, he'll walk with me. But most of the time, it's riding around, scouting out different areas. And he's very good at, he's very patient because whenever I ask him to, stop or pull over, he does. He'll pull right over and he'll sit there very patient until I studied whatever it is that, I'm looking at and just go on.
That works good.
Yeah, it does. Works out perfectly. And he helps me as much as he can. He built my office for me. God bless him. This was badly needed. My stuff was taking over the dining room upstairs, and that was no good.
Yeah. Yeah, Dee's kind of the same way with me. She's kind of the same way as your husband too, where she's not. She enjoys going out every now and then, and doing some actual like Bigfooting, if you want to call it that. But she likes just being out and fishing and hunting and just hiking and camping and stuff. But she's not into like the collecting stuff. Like I get stuff from you, I'm like, woo, like a little kid stuff. And so my stuff kind of gets scattered around a little bit. So I'm hoping to designate one of the rooms because her mom's moving out tomorrow, and so I'm hoping to kind of maybe set that up to do my podcast and be on, have my stuff in there and everything. So that'd be good.
Oh, there you go. And so as soon as she moves out, you move your stuff in so nobody else can move back in there.
Like right now.
Yes. Yeah, I got it.
State claim.
Yes. Okay. Whoop. And Patty asks, has Lou seen a Bigfoot? No. Lou has never seen a Bigfoot, never heard a Bigfoot. I don't think he's even seen any of the footprints. He's retired from working heavy machinery construction, asphalt, roads and everything. And, I would tell him, well, whenever you get to work very early and you're sitting there in your truck by yourself waiting for the rest of the crew to come in, just be aware, of what's going on out there. And he'll say, I sleep. As soon as I pull in, I fall asleep until everyone comes in. So I'm not going to hear or see anything. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't camp. He's not into camping. He's not into anything like that. But he, whenever I tell him that I'm going to go camping or, going to be gone for a few days or whatever, it's whatever he helps and supports me 100%.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, Erica is a saint. She's into the stuff that I'm doing for our podcast in April. Conspiracy theories, coal, secret societies, weather manipulation, and so much more. She doesn't think I'm crazy. Very good, Blackie. I gotta get in there and watch that too, because that's interesting. Erica's sweet. I like her.
She is.
And how's Dee Dee doing?
She's doing pretty good. Today, she actually drove herself for the first time, and so she's doing better. She had a few days where it was bad, but we think that this one's actually been easier than the first one, which they say it's not normal, but
Okay.
So
Well, as long as she's out, that's good.
yeah, we do little walks up and down the driveway, and then Like I said, today she actually drove herself to her physical therapy, and they
Awesome.
want her to bend like 120 degrees on her leg. She's at like 110 or something right now already. So yeah,
Wow.
she's
And how
almost
long
there.
has it been? A few weeks?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That's good. It'll take time.
Yep.
Oh, the party bus pulls into the driveway after I leave. No, it's peace and quiet for him. Whatever, because usually
Exactly.
Sinead is gone and I'm gone, and he has peace and quiet finally.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
What's that? Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Would you want to load some things up tonight?
Just 1 second there, Mary.
Oh, wow. Let's see. What else is going on here? Yes, we're glad that Dee Dee is healing quickly. Prayers for continued healing.
Thank you.
Okay, test show coming very soon. Is that for? Okay, let me back up.
For the
Oh,
oddcast. Yeah.
okay, Oddcast podcast. Yeah,
Yep.
Wendell's. That's Wendell's show.
No, Windows is 91 Bigfoot 911.
Oh, is it? Okay. Now
This
who?
is Chad and Erica's. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I lose track of who's doing what.
Uh,
Oh, Sandra, you're always in our prayers. You really are.
yes, she
Yep.
is.
Yep. Okay. I think I'm losing track. Here we go.
There you go.
Oddcast podcast off the record. Yeah, that's the name of the channel. I'm trying to think if I was able to find. Yeah, I don't think I was able to find the channel, so I'll have to wait until uh, you post the link to your first
Yeah.
show, and so I can get in there and subscribe.
I found it. I just had to go to YouTube, and then you do the search, and you have to do the off the record part at the end of it too, and that kind of made the difference.
Okay, yeah, because I was getting all kinds of oddcast and odd podcast and all kinds of
Yeah.
weird stuff, but couldn't find it. So I'll search again. Let's see. Oh, oh, that's sweet, Bigfoot Bud. Oh,
Sandra.
okay. At the Oddcast podcast off the record. Okay, I'll have to see if I can. I'll type it in that way in the search field for YouTube.
If I found it, you surely can. I'm terrible.
Yeah, today I was. No, the past couple days I was on an intense search, digging information on a person that I wanted to find out more information on, and we're able to dig up information by doing a few little tricks. But for some reason, the Oddcast podcast It must have been because I didn't include off the record
Mm-hmm.
in my search. So type it just like in YouTube search bar. Yeah. Well, guys, it's 9:35, and for me at least. Dave, it's probably 6:30.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Still daylight, just starting to rain.
Okay. Uh-huh. All right, then Erica, your premiere is Sunday, April 6th at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, good. All right. Erica, make sure that you share the link for your premiere, really for all of your shows. You're welcome to, go into my group and share the link. That's what I'm here for, support you guys. Okay, Melvin. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. He says, over the past few years, I've been working on a project studying a travel lane you believe the Bigfoot has been using at a crossing in the river and going across the railway near your sighting. Oh, cool. That is cool. Please let us know what you find, whatever you see. Please share.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Nice.
Okay, well, guys, I think I'm going to shut it down. And I appreciate everyone coming in. And Dave, thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you so
welcome.
much. I'm glad that, even though I think the powers that be were, trying their doggonest, you were able to get your story across with some little freeze ups and
Little
distortion.
hiccups.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I got to also.
Yeah.
It's all, we tried, what was it, 2 or 3 times or something we tried or something?
Yes, at least. Yeah. And every single time you would just get knocked out completely.
Yeah.
Bumped off, completely out of the show. And so finally, you stuck around and
Just long enough.
yes.
So
So,
before I go, Mary,
yeah,
before we go, can I do a little unsoliciting for you?
please.
Everybody, buy Mary's book. It's amazing. I'm telling you,
Thank you.
you will
Thank you.
not be disappointed.
And everyone, if you order directly from me, I will autograph that book, personalize it, for you, and send it on. You can also order it on Amazon, but order it from me. That way, I can personalize it and send it off to you. But thank you, Dave.
You're welcome, Mary. Thank you.
All right, so guys, you have a great evening, and subscribe to all the other channels that are represented in here. Support our friends completely.
Yep.
Okay, and looks like RVs of America, they like my comment that I left on there where I said that I would talk about their trailer this evening on my podcast.
Oh, nice.
They've been in here before, listening in. So I hope that they were able to jump in and yes, ROA, if you're listening in, I talked about your new trailer, your the Pause 22.4. And hopefully one of these days, hopefully I'll be able to get it. All right, guys. Love y'all. Thank you. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And God bless you.
God bless. And night, footers.
Good
Bye,
night.
Mary.
Bye. Monkey wench out.